good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, out of voice radio. So today, I am showing you a new Cobalion card, which is going to be coming out in Sun and Moon 7A from the Clap Spark. And it has been revealed today and translated by the lovely RappelmannTCG, Mr. David Hochmann himself, as has become somewhat of a tradition on this channel. And there's some things to like about this. Now, first of all, we've got to mention it's got 120 HP. That means that Zoroark GX will get an easy one-hit KO, boo, hiss, etc. Nothing we can do about it. But it's got a retreat cost of 2, which means you can't use a skateboard after rotation to get free retreat. It's not looking great straight off the bat. But you do have a resistance to Psychic, so Espeon GX and Garboda will have a more difficult time doing good damage to you, so that's nice. And weakness to Fire is not that relevant at the moment because there really aren't many good Fire Pokemon around. And being a Metal Pokemon means that you can use Delmise to do a little bit of extra damage, which is good. And it means that you can use stuff like Mount Coronet to get energy back and Magnezone to accelerate energy, etc. It's a good typing to have, not to mention you're hitting weakness against stuff like Gardevoir GX, Sylveon and Glaceon. So to be perfectly honest, not too bad, although the HP and retreat cost both to make me a little bit sad. But as always, it really is the attacks that we're worried about here. First attack, Metal Colorless, 30 damage. During your next turn, this Pokemon receives 30 less damage from attacks. This is actually really good. Now, the energy cost is a little bit of a pain, but being a non-GX, you can use counter energy. And between Magnezone and Solgaleo Prism Star, you know what? We've got ways to accelerate energy with Metal Pokemon, which makes me not hideously worried. Now, the other good thing is, if you're in the expanded format, you will have Max Elixir, but do remember, and actually you'll have Bronzong as well in the expanded format, which might be even better. Is even better. Because unfortunately this is being released in our November set, which will be after we've said goodbye to cards like Max Elixir. Never mind, ladies and gentlemen, you can't win them all. But when you're using this, it's actually really nice. Now, 30 damage isn't great. But if you're hitting for weakness, then you can get something like a Ralts, for instance, or an Alolan Vulpix. That's quite nice. But the thing is, you can combine this really nicely with something like Metal Frying Pan, and then you can really start tanking. Metal Frying Pan is a tool that reduces damage done to you by 30 while taking away your weakness. So if you use this attack and then use Metal Frying Pan, then all of a sudden damage done to you is reduced by 60 and you have no weakness. So you're not doing very much damage, and that is a pain that makes me very sad. But you're also not taking very much damage. So kind of call it a draw, I suppose. We'd like to be doing more damage, of course we would. But you're really not taking much damage here, so actually it's going all right. Annoyingly, Reverse Valley will be rotating around about the time this comes out, just before. Otherwise, you can reduce damage done to you by 10 and actually be reducing damage by 70 all in one go. Is this enough? Really depends what you're playing against, as obvious a statement as that might sound. If you're playing against something like a Buzzwole, for instance, well, even if they've got a Diancie Prism Star on the bench, then they'd naturally be doing 50 damage, which means if you're attacking with this, they're doing 50, you're reducing by 60, nothing is done to you. That's right, no damage. Now they can be hitting the bench, but, you know, you can be using Sky Pillar here, which will kind of stop that happening, so that's alright. And then you're actually in a great situation here where you're just locking them out of the game. Now, they can put free energy on and then get a KO on you. I suppose they could always add a Beast Energy to be doing 20 damage. But really, if they're putting a Beast Energy and a Diancie Prism Star to be doing 10 damage to you, I am absolutely okay with this, ladies and gentlemen. So they have to put free energy on to attack you. In which case, you bring in something like the new attacking Deoxys, it's got the same attack as the Mewtwo from Evolutions, and then take them out using a Choice Band. Now they can Guzma up that Deoxys, but really, they're using free energy and a Guzma to take out a single prize Deoxys. You can use this attack to lock stuff like Buzzwole just out of the game. That sounds fine. Even something like a Zoroark here is going to essentially be 2-hit KOing you, because they will essentially do 60 damage, 120 reduced down to 60, and then have to do another 60, although honestly that just makes me really sad that you don't have 130 HP. If you had 130 HP, then you could actually be free hit KO'd by Zoroark, and that would just be gosh darned hilarious. So we got a bit of tanking here. You're not going to do much against a Pokemon like Ultra Necrozma that can just come in and swing for big damage and is going to be getting a whole bunch of energy from the Malamar that they're inevitably going to be playing. But against something like Buzzwole, you can just completely and utterly lock them, and that's going to be hilarious. But we do need a bigger attack here, and we've got one. Metal, colorless, 80 damage. If this Pokemon has a tool card attached to it, you do 120 damage. Now, it is for an extra energy, but in theory, the first attack allows you to slow the game down, so we really don't mind. And secondly, don't forget about Counter Gain that I just showed you a couple hours ago. Counter Gain means that this will just be metal, which means you can actually Counter Gain plus Counter Energy and still be doing this for a single energy. Although you would have to be behind on prizes to use either Counter Energy or Counter Gain to its full effect on this. But then you're doing 120. Or maybe you add a choice band on here and you're doing 150, and well, actually 150's not that great. Yeah, fine, you get a one-hit KO on Marshadow, but that's not that relevant. Oh no, wait, let's bring back in Delmise, because now you could be rolling. The problem is you need a bit too much. So let's say you get 2 Delmise down here, you're hitting 170, there's a KO on Tapu Lele. Or 3 Delmise, there's a KO on something like a Drampa. Or 4 Delmise, there is your KO on a Buzzwole. Maybe Rayquaza would have been a better example of something to get with 3 Delmise. So look, my point here is you can be getting one-hit KOs, you just better be willing to put a lot of resources in. Because honestly, Choice Band plus 3 Delmise plus free energy, we are getting into the situation here where this is overpriced. My point is, this second attack, it's not your main attack. There will be times you can use it. And certainly if you're against something like a Gardevoir that's weak, oh my goodness, yeah, let's get a one-hit KO. Otherwise, this is a bonus to be used when you're using the first attack anyway. First attack, 2 energy, really slow the game down, reduce damage done by 60 with a metal frying pan. Yes, I am all in favor of this. Second attack, free energy, 120. Yeah, you're getting one-hit KOs on a bunch of stuff, and that's fine, but only if they're weak. Otherwise, I mean, look, I like to run out these scenarios in these videos, but I think it's very important to differentiate between this will happen every game, you can reduce damage done by 60 and frustrate a Buzzwole, and it's fun, but it's really not that likely, Choice Band and 4 Delmise to get a one-hit KO on a Buzzwole. Second attack is quite nice here for, hey, let's chuck in a third energy and roll here. And sometimes you're frustrating your opponent, hey, now they've got 110 HP remaining, attach a third energy and get a one-hit KO. Although do remember that if you get the KO, you won't have that 30 reduction next turn, so sometimes even when you've got the KO, it's worth still chipping away to reduce damage done the following turn. This is a Pokemon which is here for the first attack, which I like a lot. Second attack, handy bonus, nothing more than that. It's a free Wassy card. It's the kind of card that you're going to put into Metal decks occasionally, or Counter Energy decks, and you're going to use, especially with Metal Frying Pan, as a really good slow the game down, frustrate your opponent kind of Pokemon. But that's what it's there for. It's not a big hitting second attack kind of Pokemon. You can use it like that occasionally, but it is a bonus, not the reason to play the card. But now, it's time for you to tell me if you think Cobalion's going to work. Do you like the first attack to frustrate your opponent? Do you like the second attack for hitting for weakness? Or do you think it's not quite good enough at all? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at Awasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do that. And do check out my video game /Dragon Ball Super channel, Wasi Plays, where we really are hitting our stride lately. I'd like it if you did. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.